Your plan for pushing higher education and providing more state funding for Texas HBCUs?
There was an omnibus bill that was considered by the Congress this year. Ted Cruz voted against it. I voted for it. It included a 14% increase for HBCU funding. It forgave $300 million in HBCU disaster relief loans as we recovered from natural disasters that have been visited on different HBCUs across this state and in other states in the union. So that's progress that we can build upon, but we know that we're nowhere close to where we need to be. Endowments are not at the level that they need to be here yet. We don't have full funding to ensure that cost is not an object to every young potential student who wants to better themselves by coming to Prairie View and studying those things that are going to allow them not only to do better for themselves in their life, but to do better for all of us in whatever they hope to achieve by living to their full potential. So making college more affordable, allowing those who've already taken out loans in a country that has $1.5 trillion in outstanding student loan debt to refinance those loans at lower rates, making college more affordable, including ensuring that everyone can at least go to community college and begin at least the first 2 years of what might be 4 years of higher education for them. That makes a lot of sense. All of these are investments, but they're investments that pay handsome dividends far and above the initial cost that we put in. So those are some things that I'd like to support.
So my question is, how can one person have a right to someone else's money or labor?
This country to make together. Not the Democrats, not the Republicans, not for independents, but for all of us to come together. And I'll give you an analog. It's not going to be perfect, but I think it helps to express the idea behind this. At one time, the ability to go to school, to receive a public education, to finish high school, was at some extraordinary expense. That we were going to invest in the ability for every American child to be able to receive a public education up through the 12th grade. We understood that investment, while expensive up front, was going to ensure that we had the educated workforce that would build the greatest economy that this world has ever known. People who were educated and trained and ready for the jobs that we were creating that led not just this country, but led the free world as we then knew it. In a state that is the least insured in the United States today, where I met a young man named Joey in Laredo, Texas, 29 years old, has never had health insurance, means he's never had health care, means he's seen a doctor once in his life. He went to a free clinic. And that doctor says, Joey, you've got diabetes, you have glaucoma, and along this current trajectory, you will be dead before you are the age of 40. Now, though we're not paying for Joey's health care today, as Joey gets closer to death, he'll be taking himself to the emergency room, where the outcomes will not be as good as they would have been if we took care of him up front, where the care will be exponentially more.
Is an integral part of our ability to help improve lives in Houston, Texas, and beyond.
In the future, to stop the dying crisis of HBCUs and to further the betterment of Black communities.
Not been represented, but I'll tell you that there's something else happening on the other side of the political spectrum in communities like I mentioned, Cashmere Gardens or Greens Point or Third Ward in Houston, Texas. Places so reliably Democratic that Republicans fear to tread, and Democrats no longer show up. And so no one is being held accountable. No one's having the conversations about what's most important to the people in those communities. Those are precisely the questions I'm going to right now. And we're showing up and having town hall meetings like these, but we're also knocking on doors. So if someone can't take the time, or didn't know that we were having this town hall tonight, I want to make sure that I knock on their door and listen to them on their front porch or invite them into their living room and hear their story, and that their story become part of this campaign. And become part of the very high expectations that we're setting together and that we must together deliver on. So you asked about some of the specifics that I've learned, some of the things that we can do. You asked specifically about HBCUs. Those conversations definitely influenced my strong support for this omnibus, which increased HBCU funding by $14 million. I mentioned the $300 million forgiven in outstanding loan debt for these HBCUs, but I also mentioned that is only a small step in the right direction. We have a lot more work before us. You asked about other issues within the African American community. I mentioned criminal justice reform, and I'll give you some examples. I joined a bill written by a Republican colleague that would end the prohibition on marijuana. I'll tell you in part why I chose to do that. In more than half the states in this country, it's legal in one form or the other to use marijuana for medicinal purposes, for recreational purposes, or it's been decriminalized. And so you've got to ask yourself, who's going to be the last veteran in the state of Texas who does not want to be prescribed an opioid, to which she might become addicted to and might overdose on? 70,000 overdose deaths in the United States of America last year. Who's going to be the last veteran to do that and be treated like a criminal? The last senior citizen with fibromyalgia, whose only treatment is medical cannabis to make those conditions that she lives under bearable so that she can live her life. And then chances are, if we want to just be blunt about this, who's going to be the last African American man to be behind bars for possession of something that's legal in most of these countries right now? So that's what I'm going to do. That's why I'm joining bills that would end private prisons in this country, that have an incentive, that have and it's why I believe that any Texan, any American who's been arrested solely for the crime of possession of marijuana should have their record expunged. So they can for all of us. Those, along with issues of economic justice, making sure that capital is accessible to everyone, to be able to purchase that home, to start that small business, to make sure that you can be there for your family. Equity in education, which I mentioned earlier, yes, that means resources.
We hope that we've inspired you this evening. We hope that we've answered your questions. We hope that we have energized you to register to vote if you have not done so already. If you have registered, we hope you are fired up to go out and vote. That would be the impact that we're looking for as a result of this evening's activity. We know that you could have been doing something else this evening. We are so very appreciative that you chose to spend time here with us and to hear Congressman Beto's message. We want to thank you for taking the time. I know you have a very, very full schedule. I know you have a full schedule, but I really want to thank you for taking the time and giving everyone an opportunity to learn more about your positions on items and issues that are important to us, but also to our community. So I hope that you're feeling a little more engaged and knowledgeable about the platform that Congressman Mayo has before you. I want to also thank the faculty, the staff, and the students that worked so diligently in helping us pull this together. We could not have done this by ourselves. So thank you so very much. Again, and we'll close out by saying good night, everyone.